In previous episodes, I explained how your subconscious mind stores all life events, including childhood traumas, and how these traumas control your reactions to situations and keep bringing you challenges that alert you to something you're doing wrong that needs to be corrected so these challenges disappear and don't repeat in your life. As the renowned scientist Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Also, Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, said, "What you resist persists, and what you accept transforms." This was pointing to how repeating the same unconscious reactions deepens the problem. I also briefly shared my life story to confirm this theory tangibly in our practical lives. And since I'm an engineer who loves analysis and probabilities, I'll now assume you're convinced of this theory by about 30 to 40%. This means you need evidence confirming this theory from past beliefs and legislations, whether divine scriptures like the Torah, Bible, Quran, Hinduism, and ancient philosophical schools. At that point, you might accept the theory by 70 to 90% or more, depending on your ego and your desire to understand yourself more and your willingness to change. Before we begin, it's very important that you fully understand that the subconscious mind is the central axis of the soul, heart, and spirit. The soul, heart, spirit, secret, and subconscious are different names for one essence, the divine subtlety that made humans truly human. Their names differ based on their attributes. When inclined toward deficiency, it's called the soul. When purified from the state of submission to the state of faith, it's called the heart. When purified further to the state of excellence but still bearing traces of deficiency like scars after healing, it's called the spirit. When these traces vanish and it becomes pure, it's called the secret. And when the matter becomes too subtle, it's called the subconscious. Now I will discuss evidence of this theory from various legislations and cultures. Deep within you lies a secret archive filled with old files. Files that control your life without you even realizing. Did you know even the Torah mentioned the impact of stored traumas and thoughts? Let us uncover these secrets and evidence together. Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 29. Oh, that there were such a heart in them that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. Here is a reference to how thoughts and hearts, shaped by childhood, determine the destiny of children and future generations. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. The heart in ancient texts includes the subconscious mind. If you store negative thoughts there, from childhood traumas, your whole life will flow from them. Job chapter 3 verse 25. For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. Job was speaking about the law of attraction thousands of years before the term existed. Fear of something attracts it into your life. Psalms chapter 1 verse 42. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Meaning the soul subconscious mind pours all its energy into what it sees, whether good or bad. What does all this mean? If you have an idea stored in your subconscious like being weak or unsuccessful, you will keep attracting situations that prove this idea. Also, if you have a childhood trauma stored, like being neglected by a family member, you will keep repeating relationships where you are neglected without realizing it. But here is the solution. The Torah says that God is at the level of his servant's expectation. Psalms chapter 1 verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Meaning, if you change the stored thoughts and reprogram your subconscious with faith in God, and your certainty that everything happening to you is for your good, your life will change, and this is acceptance and surrender. Now you have two keys before you. The first key is to continue as you are and remain a prisoner of the old archive. The second key is to break the lock and reprogram your subconscious with faith and positive thoughts. So which key will you choose? Secrets of the Subconscious Mind in the Bible. How to reprogram your life. Deep within you lies a black box storing all the wounds you've endured, the words that hurt you, the moments that made you feel worthless. What you try to forget still controls you from the shadows. Did you know the Bible spoke of this secret thousands of years before modern psychology? Now we'll discover together how to free yourself from the prison of the past, and how to use the power of faith to reprogram your destiny. Biblical evidence supporting the theory that thoughts stored in the subconscious shape life's challenges. Matthew chapter 7 verse 7. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Mark chapter 11 verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Romans chapter 12 verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. James chapter 1 verses 6 and 7. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. What does this mean? If you have painful childhood memories, humiliation, neglect, betrayal, you'll keep repeating the same painful scenarios in your relationships and work. But the Bible tells you, renew your mind, to reformat the old programs making you weak and afraid. How? Through faith, asking and seeking, because God tells you, I have everything, but you must believe first. Meaning, when you ask God for financial wealth or pray for a spouse with specific qualities, how can you expect your dreams to come true when deep down you feel unworthy and your self-confidence is shaken by childhood traumas stored from the past? If you have a stored thought in your subconscious that you're a failure, you'll keep attracting failure until your mindset and thoughts change. Then your destiny will transform. Certainty won't come until you believe you're no less than others in anything, that your potential is unlimited, and that you can achieve anything with minimal resources. Secrets of the Subconscious Mind in Islam. How to break free from childhood prison. Inside each of us lies a secret basement, a basement filled with memories as old as you are, of words that wounded you or situations that made you feel weak, and things hidden even from yourself. Did you know Islam spoke about this 1400 years ago? Allah Almighty revealed legislation suitable for every year since the creation of Adam, peace be upon him. Legislation means, do this and don't do that. In Adam's time, the legislation was, enjoy everything but don't approach this tree. After Cain killed his brother Abel, new legislation came. Because of that, we ordained for the children of Israel that whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul or corruption in the land, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely, and whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely. Then came the Torah legislation with Moses, peace be upon him. Then the gospel legislation with Jesus, peace be upon him. Finally, the Islamic legislation with Muhammad, peace be upon him, the final message until Judgment Day. Islam has clarified, how stored thoughts control your life without you realizing. And how can you erase these old files? Evidence from Quran and Sunnah supporting this theory. Surah Al-Ra'd, verse 11. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Sacred Hadith narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. I am as my servant thinks of me. What does this mean? If you have childhood trauma, humiliation, fear, neglect, you'll keep acting based on it unconsciously. Like someone told, "You're stupid," as a child. Grows up convinced he's not smart with shaky self-confidence. In any heated discussion, he takes comments personally, because subconsciously he feels they're calling him stupid, even when the speaker means no such thing. But the Quran tells you Allah won't change your situation until you change what's within yourself, meaning you must open old files and remove toxic thoughts that ruin your life as long as they exist in your mind, because they also distort your perception of Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Allah is as his servant thinks of him, meaning if you believe Allah will help and accept you, it will happen. If you believe Allah only introduces you to narcissistic, toxic people, that's what you'll keep attracting. What's the solution? From Sunnah, seeking forgiveness. Why? Because it erases sins, making you feel unworthy. Reliance. Instead of saying, I'm weak, say, Allah is sufficient for me and He is the best disposer of affairs. And pray, Allah take charge of us among those you take charge of. Allah promises believers in Surah Yunus verses 62 to 65. Unquestionably Allah's allies, no fear will there be concerning them, nor will they grieve. Those who believe and were fearing Allah, for them are good tidings in the worldly life, and in the hereafter no change is there in the words of Allah, that is the great attainment. And let not their speech grieve you, indeed honor belongs to Allah entirely, He is the hearing, the knowing. Some energy researchers and life coaches suggest exercises like writing all negative thoughts like, I'm a failure, on paper, crossing them out and burning the paper, as if deleting an old file. Do this for a week, a nice solution, right? But the problem is at the first challenging situation. The issue returns as long as the emotional root remains. If you need help understanding and healing childhood trauma roots, contact me on WhatsApp number in description. You'll be amazed by the results, inshallah. Secrets of the subconscious mind in Hinduism. How to heal childhood wounds. Deep within your being lie ancient records, records engraved with the fire of early experiences, words that burned your small heart, glances that made you doubt your worth. Did you know the Vedas spoke of this secret thousands of years before psychology? We will now reveal how to become master of your destiny, how to erase the dark records from your soul's library. Evidence from Hindu texts supporting the theory. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 verse 5. Let a man lift himself by himself, let him not degrade himself, for the self alone is friend of the self, and the self alone is enemy of the self. Ishopanishad verse 7. He who knows himself crosses beyond sorrow and becomes free from all bonds. Brihadaranyaka mantra. As a man thinks, so he becomes. This is the eternal law. Rig Veda Part 10. Thoughts are seeds, and the world is their harvest. Therefore be careful what you plant in the field of your mind. What does this mean? If you have childhood wounds from criticism or neglect, they will keep surfacing in your relationships and choices unconsciously. Like someone told as a child they were disappointing or a failure, grows up choosing jobs below their potential. But the Gita tells you that you are both friend and enemy to yourself. meaning the thoughts you plant within transform into karma in your life. How to change this? Through mantra and meditation. Because the Upanishads say as you believe so you become. Meaning if you change the thoughts stored in your mind, your life will change. Practical solutions from Hindu traditions include healing mantras. Repeat Om Shanti 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 108 times. To clear negative energy, Om is a sacred word meaning like Amen in Abrahamic faiths. Shanti means peace and is said 3 times. Once for inner peace or Brahmatma, once for people and nature or Dak, once for the universe or Jatakma. Also chakra meditation. Focus on the heart chakra to open it to love and trust. Journaling practice. Write all painful memories on paper. Then burn the paper, known as the liberation ritual. This knowledge from ancient Hindu wisdom reveals how our stored thoughts shape reality and provides tools for transformation through mantras, meditation, and conscious reprogramming of the subconscious mind. The choice to heal and rewrite your story remains in your hands. Would you like additional details about specific mantras or meditation techniques for subconscious healing? The ancient rishis left us profound methods for self-transformation when applied with consistent practice. How did philosophers free themselves from past traumas? Inside each of us lies an invisible prison, a prison built with stones of early traumas. Words your mother said, looks your father gave, situations that made you doubt your worth. But did you know the greatest philosophers discovered the secret to liberation from this prison 300 years before Christ? Now we will explore together the Stoic philosophy's view of the subconscious mind. What intellectual weapons did these great thinkers leave us to crush past wounds? Evidence from Stoic philosophy supporting the theory. Epictetus, Discourses Book 1. It is not what happens that disturbs man but his opinion about what happens. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations Book 4. Your life is what your thoughts make it. Seneca, Letters to Lucilius, Letter 75. Suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our interpretation of them. Epictetus, Enchiridion Book 2. If you wish to improve, be prepared to be thought foolish. What does this mean? If you have childhood wounds from criticism or neglect, the Stoics tell you the problem isn't what happened. The problem is the story you told yourself about what happened. Like when your father said you're not as good as your cousin. It wasn't the words that hurt you, but your decision to believe those words. So how to change? By rewriting the story, because Marcus Aurelius said your life is what your thoughts make it. Meaning if you change your thoughts, your life will change. The Stoics also provided practical weapons for change. The separation exercise. When something bothers you, ask, is this event beyond my control? If yes, ignore and move on. Reinterpretation. Instead of saying, my family was cruel, say, they did what they knew to make me stronger. Daily reflection. Every night ask yourself, what toxic thoughts about myself did I accept today? Share in comments and write your worst memories. Remember Seneca's words. Suffering is optional. Freedom begins when we choose our interpretation. In the end, I strongly believe you're convinced by the evidence from different cultures and beliefs supporting this theory. If you need any help or have questions, WhatsApp me at the number in description. Don't forget to like and share. You might help many people who need to hear this. Wishing you continued success and best regards.